Hey everybody, how's it going? So today what I'd like to do is fix my EM3EV battery. EM3EV makes, in my opinion, and I don't get paid to say this, I've paid full price for my batteries when I bought this thing. They make great batteries. I don't get, they individually fuse a lot of the cells. They have temperature monitoring. The internals are put together really nicely. The problem that I have with this battery is that it's very out of balance because I use the 30Q cells, which those are the ones that can put out high energy, but they also manage to go out of balance pretty quickly. And also, I'm an asshole, to be honest. Like, I have been so mean to this little bicycle. Because the old store was small and I was used to the way I did stuff at the old store, I wouldn't keep the bike plugged in all day. I would keep it plugged in just long enough to get a decent enough charge, and then unplug it because I needed to move it to where there was not an outlet or where it wasn't easy to charge. And also when I got home, I was not charging it because I didn't want to put an extension cord from the top floor of my apartment down to the hallway, and I didn't want to have to unvelcroing it from the bike is a royal pain in the ass. And I was charging it with a 14 amp charger, not a 5 or a 2 amp. So even after a lot of time spent trying to balance the cells in the battery, I get this, and I will show you if my Stream Deck works. One second, let me just reopen my Stream Deck since my Stream Deck appears to be protesting me. Come on, Stream Deck. Oh, come on, Stream Deck. Stream Deck doesn't want to work. Really, Stream Deck? Really? Really? Ah, you piece of... Ah, you piece of shit. Let's see. Stream Deck. Yes, delete the process and start fresh. Stream Deck. All right. Huh? Huh? Really? Really? Oh, man. You were just working before. Should I unplug you and plug you back in? Okay, let's try unplugging OBS and plugging it back in. So this is the battery. Now this is a piece of crap Huawei tablet that I use for the BMS software. A lot of software that relies on Bluetooth doesn't really seem to work well on Android 10, so that's why I use this piece of crap shitty Huawei tablet. On Android 10, I've had an issue where if I try to use, let's say, Signal or Google Hangouts, thank you very much, Trinity, that's kind of you. If I try to use Google Hangouts or Signal and use the microphone that's built into my Bluetooth headset, it doesn't work. I have to sometimes switch back and forth between headset, speaker, and Bluetooth over and over again until it works. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I've tried resetting to scratch, all that shit. I've had the same problem with this thing because this app works over Bluetooth. So I'm using an Android 7 or 9 device in order to actually do this. The BMS app doesn't work properly on Android 10 to my experience. So I have this little tablet. This is fully charged. I've let this battery sit on the charger for quite a while. This battery has sat on the charger for about a week now. Every day I'll just unplug and plug it back in just so that I can restart the BMS because I think after 16 hours it stops doing balancing. This way it can try to balance the cells. And in spite of that, you can see how imbalanced the cells are. I'll take a screenshot of this so I can include this as a JPEG when I edit the video. So this is after a week of balancing. You can see some cells are 3700 millivolts, some are 4169. This is very bad. This is very, very bad. What I want is for all the cells to be, ideally, when I fully charge it up, all of them are exactly 4.2 volts. So here's why this is bad. When I charge the battery, it typically only charges it until the highest charged cell pack is 4.2. And when you discharge it, it will turn off the entire battery the moment even one of these cell groups hits the cutoff voltage, which is around 2.5 volts. So you wind up losing a lot of range on this because remember, this thing can only last as long as the shittiest group of batteries. And it can only be charged as much as the greatest group of batteries. Once it hits that, then it stops charging the rest. There is balancing current and all that. There is balancing current, but that's not really going to do much when you're charging at 14 amps. And the reason, I don't drink, but thank you. I appreciate it. I'll get myself something. I was charging at 14 amps because I would only have, let's say, a half hour to 45-minute charging window at the old store where I could plug my battery in, and I needed it to get as much charged up as I could during that time period. But we're not doing that anymore. So what I want to do here is actually open this battery up and charge each of these individual cell groups all to 4.2 volts. That's what we're going to try to do. Now, what's going to make this difficult is figuring out how to open this battery. This is going to be pretty difficult to do, but we'll see. Now, this is a 14 9SP battery. That means that we have, for each of these 14 banks, this is 14 in series, and each of these banks has 9 batteries in it. So this is 14 banks. So you have 14 banks of 4.2 volts, which adds up to 58.8 volts. And that is then each one of those banks has 9 batteries in it. So it's able to put out more amperage. Why not just send it back to EM3EV to fix it for you? Why open it and fix it in a day when I can wait 3 to 6 weeks to ship it back and forth to Australia in the middle of riots and a pandemic, when half of the packages I send to Australia get lost? Like, why fix it now when I can pay someone else to fix it a month and a half from now? Why enjoy my bicycle now when I can enjoy my bike at the end of the summer? Needless to say, hope everything is okay there. Here's some money to hire roof Koreans to protect your store. Huh? Okay, that one kind of has me confused. Also, I'm kind of thirsty. I used to have a water bottle in my office. I'm going to get my water bottle before I get started on this. That'll help me put out the lithium fire I'm about to start. Did I leave an orange water bottle out here?
I saw you with it, it's just I don't remember where you put it.
Yeah, me either. Aha! Found it. Thirsty. You want to see me open up a battery? Now, I've invited some people from my e-bike Discord to this stream, who I'm going to be please broing the shit out of regarding how the hell do I open this battery.
Do you want me to stand by with the fire extinguisher?
Okay, so Anel, here's the thing. How the fuck do you open this? So, how would you go about opening this battery?
Okay. All about delicate surgery. This looks like it was one giant heat shrink tube.
Yeah, it kind of does. So how the fuck do you get inside of this thing?
You do what a surgeon does and start peeling back.
Don't open it.
Okay.
E-bike Discord is going to get 200 new members.
So imagine this is like a circumcised penis. So you'd have to, cut away at the foreskin
That's kind of mean. Poor penis.
for religious reasons.
What is this rubberish material as well?
Careful not to.
You cut open the shrink wrap. Okay, they said cut open the shrink wrap, so Anel is apparently correct. Where can I get replacement shrink wrapping? This looks like a giant piece of heat shrink. Don't touch the cell, Anel. Steady hand, steady hand. Working with a charged battery is not a good idea. Oh, I'll be fine. I'm not working with it. I'm having an employee work with it.
That's one layer off.
Our workman's comp policy covers opening these batteries, right? It says we work with batteries. All right.
Oh, it's totally safe. There's duct tape on.
Yeah, beautiful. Bada bing. Duct tape. When I see duct tape, I know I'm welcome.
Ah, this is. We're gonna start back here again.
Don't tell Anel he's correct. It's just going to inflate his already big ego. If my math is correct, 14 by 9, you have 126 chances to explode yourself, says Chris.
I gotta turn this over. This is really heavy.
I know. There's a lot of batteries in here. This is like a Spigen case for a phone. Is he circumcising that poor battery? Yep. Here, let's see. Can I copy and paste an invite to the e-bike Discord here? I don't think I can. Can I invite people? I don't know how to do that. What about if the flames are coming from your bicycle? When you put flames in your electric bike, it makes it faster, someone said. This really does look like it's duct taped together. Did you ever come across the Vamp pliers? Yes, I have those in my trunk. Thank you. They are in the trunk of my... Okay. So now we have a battery.
Is this dead or still working?
Whoa, what's that? Oh, that's some foam. That kind of... I think that was from when I got hit by a BMW. It works, but the battery groups are not charged properly.
Oh.
So I would like to charge the individual groups slowly. Okay, the next thing you got to do with this... Okay, what's next? Next step. Please, bro. Bro, please?
This is just duct tape and then capped into
Regarding the new phone I'm making, I made a chassis that screws into the housing, no glue at all, and the screws pass through the board for a battery replacement. So all that is required is a screwdriver. Okay, that's pretty fair. I gotta say, that's fair. What are you doing with liquid resistance, Mr. Rockford? What's all that dust, too? Is that...
asbestos.
That's probably asbestos. Okay, so this looks like it's duct tape, if I'm not mistaken. Remove tape. All right. I'm listening to a guy with a bunch of numbers for a name in Discord. That's kind of scary. Jeez. I got it from here.
Near impossible
Yeah,
to
fix
remove?
the board. There's too many boards to fix for you to watch me fix a battery. If I blow myself up, it's my own damn fault. I'm a professional. These gloves are not the gloves to wear for this. All right. This is going to be fun. I'm kind of curious what their construction looks like inside, because I've seen pictures on their website. We'll have to see what it actually looks like on the inside. Why the questions, Sinsbird? Why all the questions? So many questions. Rewind, King. We're trying to balance the cell groups in this battery so that I can get it charged up to 100% again. And since the BMS has got me virtually no progress after a week, I'm going to do it manually. These gloves are pretty useless because they break very easily. Let's see what kind of construction we have inside here. After this, I'm going to have to buy more tape as well. If I can buy that shrink tubing shit locally, that would be ideal. All right. Zero Subaru says it's fairly specialty, so it's not really. So Amazon is, yeah, probably got to buy it online. Yeah, and this looks like it's just duct tape, nothing else. And then over here I see Captain tape on the side where the electrical connections are. Makes sense that there's heat resistant tape over there. So I got to buy some of that. It is Thursday, so none of this stuff is going to arrive until next week. Which means we're just going to have to use this battery with packing tape. Packing tape will do fine. Stream title, Lewis Goes Kaboom. You have no faith in me. You know what, that's fine. I have no faith in you either. I have no faith in you either. I think we should consult Electro Boom before we go any further. I'm not going to send 120 volts to my battery, nope. This is nicely taped, but at the end of the day, this really is just a bunch of tape. Like this is tape on top of heat shrink. I mean, heat shrink on top of tape, pretty much. There's nothing here that's crazy, crazy specialized. It's neat. Don't get me wrong. It's very neat taping, but this is not some sort of high tech shit. This is literally just a bunch of tape. There's no reason to be afraid. Alright, so there's a hard piece down here. I'm going to want to keep this, probably. Alright, these gloves are getting destroyed, so fuck the gloves for now. Those are the gloves from my laptop repair anyway. I'll be using the command adhesive. The user removes a panel on the exterior of the phone and pull the tab similar to iPhone batteries. As long as the battery is replaceable. Okay. Get those metal objects away from the battery. What metal objects? What? I have a mouse? This is a tube for my light. Okay, it doesn't really count as metal. I have tweezers. Okay, tweezers go here. So I have a soldering iron. The hose. Okay, the hose. What's wrong with the hose? What's the hose going to do? That's my microscope hose. You probably want me to get rid of the box cutter, because I have a box cutter near the battery. Yeah, I'll clean the desk off a little bit as well. So I don't need this mat. That mat is for Mac, for Flux and all that other shit. It's kind of a nice normal table here. Eh. Keep in mind that bus bars exist on each side of the pack. Okay. So this hose can go over here. We're going to have that very far out of the way. Battery. Okay. Let's finish opening this shit up. Now it looks like this is also glued on the side as well. Okay, I'm guessing the BMS is this thing. Plastic pry tool. Plastic pry tool. Plastic pry tool. That shit is stuck in there. I think you need to take this thing out first. No, stop, says Oh Subaru. Okay. Don't pry the heatsink off. Okay, oh, that's the heatsink. I thought this was like a metal cover, my bad. Okay, that's not a heatsink. Alright, guide the way, senpai. So what would you do first? Which side would you take off, this thing? Or would you take off this thing? Which side is the one that I should be opening up here? Good. Let's see. Black Moons is in the chat. Oh, never mind. I thought it was going to help. He's just laughing at me. I'd laugh at myself too here, kind of. I can't blame him for laughing at me. So, the yellow side with the BMS needs to come off. They're all yellow. They're all yellow! Oh, God, I see. Okay. So, this side needs to come off. Okay. The yellow side. I'm not replacing the BMS. I'm not replacing the BMS yet. All I want to do is I want to get access to the individual cells, or the cell groups, so that I could charge them on the power supply. I'm not replacing the BMS. To balance the cell, just take off the large panels. Now you tell me. It's almost like I'm getting this help for free. You know, it's almost like I just asked a random anonymous internet chat room to do my job for me. That's the quality of this help right here. Okay. So, which side? Okay, I want to charge the individual cell groups. Which side do you take off? Which one? Should I take off this one? Or should I take off this one? Which one? This side or this side? Yeah, I'm going to file a chargeback on this. Okay, both sides. There we go. Both sides. Bada bing. Okay. Taking this side off right here. My nice plastic pry tool. Whoa, that's a lot of batteries. Okay. The big sides, not the small panels. You tell me after I take this off. OMG. Refund! Refund! Okay, this. Now. Filing a chargeback on you, mofos. Okay, fine. Peel from the smallest corner. Okay. Don't use a pry tool, just peel it. Ah, this is actually better. Okay. This is all appled up in here. This is just glue. This is what a MacBook is going to look like 2 years from now when you open it up. It's foam. This is some foamy shit. You could also recharge the cells by the BMS connector. See, that's what I was going for. I was going to try and rip this thing out of here. This is supposed to be the BMS over here. So I was going to rip this shit off over here. But this is the BMS heatsink, someone said, so don't rip this off. I don't really know how you get the BMS up out of here. MacBook will look like this, still not liquid resistant. Might be worth trying a BMS connector. All right, so let's go for that. Yeah, fuck that. Fuck this. I'm not taking all that fucking foam out of here. All right, so let's open up this. I'm not going through here. Fuck that. That's insanity. Let's take this BMS shit out of here. Now, somewhere under this piece of shit over here, I imagine, is going to be where I have access to all the individual cell groups. Unplug the balance connector, then charge at low current through those. Good choice. Okay. Yeah. Now, the question becomes, how do I get the BMS out of here? It's not screwed in. It's kind of foamy fucked in there. Yeah, this is kind of foam fucked in there. Pry tool. Pry tool with no metal. Alright, so now what I have to do is there's going to be wires going to 14 different cell groups. And I have to figure out where those are. Yeah, I'm pretty impressed with all this crazy shit that they do to keep the battery inside protected. That's a lot of fucking protection. This is a well-made battery. This honestly makes me not want to buy batteries from people who are not EM3EV. Look at this. So first you have the heat shrink. After the heat shrink, you have all the duct tape. After the duct tape, you have the Kapton tape. After the Kapton tape, you have this shit. After this shit, you have this shit. I mean, this is layers upon layers upon layers of safety. I gotta give props to EM3EV for that. That's safe. So, what I need to do here is figure out how to get this BMS out of here. And I'm gonna pry it using a piece of plastic because I'm not stupid enough to use a screwdriver. Okay, it's stuck in there with sticky shit. So the sticky shit, see, appears to be unsticking. There's sticky shit. Now, really try my best to not actually touch the BMS itself because I don't want to die. You know, 58 volts at 40 amps for Derek Shalvin. Not for me, please. All right. Get the fuck out of there, BMS. Now, under here, I think this is where you have all the wires going to the individual cell groups. Okay, so how many wires do we have here? This is how I'm going to see if this is 14. So I should see over here, there's 14 different cell groups. And I see a bunch of wires over here. So I think this is where I'm looking. See? Oh, focus, you piece of shit. See that? Focus, you fuck. Focus, you. That is cool, Rockford. Give me a minute, because I got to focus on not blowing myself up. I appreciate it, but just want to not blow myself up. Give me a sec here. All right, so we've got... This is going to be what goes to the individual cells. That looks like 18-gauge wire. I should be able to put 14 amps through that, right? You could just yank the connector out. I don't think so, because that looks like it is... how do I put this? Firstly, there's a bunch of little thin-ass wires on the other side of this that I don't want to fuck up. I think that this is all siliconed up for a waterproof. God damn, they put so much fucking effort into this battery. Like, seriously, respect to EM3EV right here. I wish they still made these 14.9 SP packs. Okay, how is this connector in there? Is there a clip? And those leads may have resistor fuses in line which limit current. Yeah, I'm probably just going to put 100 milliamps through to any of this. Thin wires should be the V-Sense lines. Okay, so what the how do I unclip this? Is there a way to easily unclip this? I don't think so. Okay, so pull it out. Just pull it out. Fine. There's no room here because of this piece of foam. Ah! Okay. So now, here's the other part of the problem. How am I going to charge this? How am I going to actually do anything when the wire is going to this connector? I'm going to have to take my multimeter probes and shove it in there. All right, so that's going to be what we do. So, first things first, how many lines are on this thing? So we have 14 cell packs, right? So there's probably going to be one ground and then a positive for each one and then a positive for all or something like that. Is that going to be what it is? So I have these multimeter probes here, right? I think this is going to be what I'm going to wind up using. Multimeter probes that I can just shove in there. Like I can do this. That's probably the extent. And I'm probably going to wind up attaching these to my bench power supply. So let's take some measurements here on my meter. Okay, put this into... It's every metal connection to every battery. Okay, so we have a red wire, a bunch of blue, and a black. So the black is going to be ground, the red is going to be something, and the blue is going to be each individual cell pack. All right, so that pack is 3.8. That pack is 7.9... Oh, never mind, it's serial. It keeps going up. Okay, so this is 3.8. 4.09, 4.14, 3.89, 4.16, 3.85, 3.97, Okay, so this is where we need to be. This is it. 3.78, 4.17, 3.9, 4.17, 3.94, 4.12, 0. What's this end? What's this end shit then? Wait, what the fuck is this? What is this end connect? Oh, why is one of these empty? So one of these is actually empty. It doesn't even have a metal on it. Okay, they didn't use that. Never mind. So that they just skipped that one in the connector. It's 3.8. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to get myself a set of probes, and I'm going to attach it to the end of my bench power supply, because I have probes that actually directly attach onto the end here. And then we're going to charge that way. Well, if you saw the amount of effort these people put into making a battery, you would be very impressed.
Really?
So first they use heat shrink tubing. After the heat shrink, there is duct tape. After the duct tape, there is Kapton tape. After the Kapton tape, there is some hardened PVC-like plastic. After that, there is a bunch of underfill. And after the underfill, then comes the battery.
This is EM3?
Yeah, these people are fucking crazy. They over-engineer the shit, but like in a good way, not an Apple way.
And you couldn't, your exploding battery, you couldn't get from them? The big one that you wanted?
Which? No, I wish I could get that. They don't make it right now. They're probably so I need to get some multimeter probes, and I'm going to use that, attach it to the power supply, and put it into the little connector, because they have a connector for that goes to each of the individual cell groups, and then I'm going to charge it using the power supply. Do we have another set of multimeter probes here? Hey, never mind. Never mind. I'm charging my battery. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. So here's a set of fine multimeter probes that you can get at store.rossmangroup.com, right here, store.rossmangroup.com. I got a shill. It's the only sponsor that we have. It's the only sponsor that we have. So I will shill store.rossmangroup.com just for a moment here. It's necessary. It's essential. Piece of shit trackball. Ah. Logitech, can you make anything right? Yeah, this thing's finally dead. Here. Come on. Piece of... Everybody always says clean the contacts. I do that like 3 times a day. This thing is still a piece of shit. Yeah, I gotta get a mouse. BRB. Every one of these that I feel like an Apple user right now, because every time I buy one of those Logitech 570 trackballs, it only lasts 2 or 3 months. And then I keep buying them anyway because I'm an idiot. If I had half a brain, I'd notice that Logitech makes terrible, terrible tracking products, and I would stop purchasing them. All right. But I'm a dumbass. Yeah, that's... I literally... I just told you that I cleaned that, but... I know. Did you turn it on and off again? I know. Standard. Like I cleaned it in front of you. Right in front of you, but I know. Okay, so... Here we go. Shilling! Check this out, check this out, check this out, check this out. For $4.99, you can get yourself a beautiful, beautiful set of multimeter probes. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to plug them into my power supply. Why do I feel like he's going to short something? Do you have any 1 ohm resistors? You can figure out if there's PTC resistors in line by shorting across a low resistance load and seeing what the voltage drop is. That seems unnecessary. So here's what I want to do to start. So we're going to take these little multimeter probes here. How much do you charge for the charred multimeter probes from this video as souvenirs? Well, they are not going to be charged. They are not going to be charred. Nothing here will be charred. So I am going to take this off of my little bench power supply. And here we go. Plug. Bam. So I'm putting these on the plugs of my power supply. I have a CSI 3005P power supply. Now the first thing I'm going to do here, before I plug these in, for each one of these cell groups that I go through, for every cell group that I touch, before I touch it, I'm going to make sure that I have everything in the right hole. I'm going to make sure I'm in the right hole before I stick it in there. You know, it's good to be considerate and shit. All right, 3.8. Now, I'm going to take my power supply and let's limit current to 100 milliamps and see what happens here. So just to make sure, make sure everything is the proper way. We're not doing this in reverse. So we're not, there's no negative where there's not supposed to be a negative, all right? That's 3.83. Okay. Now we're going to put this in there. Actually got to kind of shove it in there a little bit so it stays. Yeah. This is not going to want to stay in there. Okay. That's going to be the fun part. How do we get this to stay in there? Okay. Let's practice here. There's no way I'm holding it. Like, fuck that. I'm not going to sit here for 6 hours every day just holding my multimeter probes in place. Surely there is a better way to go about this. Huh? Here we go. Move the battery back on the table. Undo the wire. You could pull the terminations out from the connector and use clips. I'm not going to do that because I know myself well enough to know that I'm going to destroy that connector. I've done that enough times with MacBooks, and I know exactly how that's going to end. It's going to end with me destroying the connector, and then I'm not going to have a connector. So we're just going to try to avoid that. Take 26 gauge insulated wire, strip a quarter of it off the end, tin it, and lightly put that in the connector. You know, JP, that would probably be the sensible thing to do. That would probably be the sensible thing to do. Instead, what I'm going to do is take this, I'm going to put something on top of here so that it pushes it to the table, like my tablet. Here we go. This will do it. There we go. Look at that. Foolproof. Bada bing, bada boom. It's going to keep that in the connector. It's going to keep it making good contact all up in there. And there we go. Look at that. Put tape over your probes first. Yeah, I was thinking of that. All right. Tilly gets a call and the phone vibrates. This is a tablet. The phone can't vibrate if it's a tablet. All right. Fine. Hey, let's find some really thin wire. Shove it in there. Let's see. Do I have an IDE cable around here? That's magic smoke. No magic smoke, Opaz. Okay. How about we get... Let's see. Do I have an IDE cable? I'm actually going to ask Steve.
Yeah. He goes inside too. Oh, yeah?
Steve's not here. He must no longer be essential. Oh.
Steve, for this one.
Only center board?
I think we have to have a demonstration on how to piss.
Yeah. Can't be pissing
You
everywhere.
want to be the model?
I pee in the sink.
Alright, all the boys.
It makes it easier. Do you have an IDE cable?
You muted?
No, it doesn't matter. Do you have an IDE cable? Men pissing on the toilet is a problem as old as time.
I don't have one.
That's his lying voice. Okay.
I don't have ones that I want to give you.
I see how it is. No, I see how it is. You fuck. Alright. This wire looks like it's thin. I can use this.
No, we don't do that. Keep it away. Put this on.
I'll try a different way. Alright. This looks like it'll do. We're putting really low amperage to this. Hey, you read about the outcome in the Hoosby case? Yes, I have, and I don't care. Check out a video called I Was Wrong About the Henrik Hoosby Case, and then check out my other video where I say how journalists lose the trust of their readers, and you will gain good insight into why I do not care about that case right now. Use a paper clip around the probe tips. No, I'm not going to use the multimeter probes to do the charging. That was a stupid idea. We're going to do it this way. Okay, so check it out. Here's what we're going to do. We're not going to use the probes to do the charging. I'm going to use banana plugs. Okay, we got these banana plugs here. Now we have this and this. Whatever cable you guys are linking me to, that's not something that I have here. I was going to use an IDE wire because it was thin, but I forgot I have this thing. It's an iPhone charger thingamajig, but I don't need this iPhone charger thingamajig right now. So it is not essential. So we're going to use this. Just need to cut the wires so they're the same size here. I want to make sure that my these are exactly the same size. No excess here. Solid core wire is best, someone says. You know, I do have some shitty Cat 5. I'll cut some open. Okay. Yeah, solid core would definitely not require me twisting and making sure that strands don't pop out. All right. 1, 2, 3. Well, that was fairly uneventful. $100 milliamps. And my power supply is 3.85 volts, 100 milliamps it's putting out. So here, I'll just raise the view of that so you can see it a little better. What voltage is it putting out? 1 sec. I'm actually going to change my power supply thingy over here so that you can see that. Let me undo the cropping on it. Wait, why can't I? Here we go. 3.84. Yeah. Okay, so we've got 3.85 volts, 100 milliamps. Crank it to 500 milliamps. Yeah, I'm scared. Mommy! 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 Hey man wants to hurt me. Okay. 0.2. 0.2. How are we gonna know if it's charging? It's charging right there, man! The fuck you think that is? It's 200 milliamps. All right, so this is pretty good. It's pretty cool. It's charging. We got a system down. Set the voltage limit to 4.1. Okay, Black Moons, why 4.1 instead of 4.2? I'm curious. I'm not saying you're wrong. I want to learn something. I want to be educated by you. So I have this set to 4.2, but why should it be set to 4.1? Because the rest of your cells are closer to 4.1. I was going to charge all the cells to 4.2. I was going to go through all of them here. So like screw balancing altogether. I wasn't going to just do the ones that were low. I was going to go through every single cell group. You don't want to overshoot. Okay, point taken. How about like 0.41... 0.417? I think this is a fairly good... Well, I think this is going to be accurate. B&K Precision 390A. This thing's pretty accurate. And it better be for the $160 the piece of shit costs. Okay, spend 5 hours balancing everything to 4.2 each, or spend 3 hours balancing everything to 4.1 and then charge everything to 4.2 in 30 minutes. Okay, see, now I understand what you're going for. Now that makes sense. Are you not going to start charging another low cell group at the same time? I have one power supply on my desk. How many power supplies do you think I have 14 or 16 power supplies? Why not several amps? 1C is charging fine on lithium. Don't these battery sets have... I think that all of these are individually fused from the BMS, right? I'm fairly certain that these are individually fused over here. Let's see. One way to find out, right? Yeah, we'll put some more amperage into it. Okay, 1 sec. Before we put more amperage in, I'm just going to step further away from the computer. I'm going to click, and I'm going to hit the checkbox, and... 300 milliamps. No fire. You clearly need to grab the other 4 PSUs you talked about to charge it. Also, keep in mind, this is not individually... This is not the individual cell that I'm charging. I'm charging a bank of 9 cells at a time here. So each individual... Okay, so if it's each individual cell that is fused, I don't see how if I'm charging 9 cells at once, that 300 milliamps is going to blow something. So what do you think that these are polyfused at? PPTC thermal fuses used on all signal wires. If a fault were ever to occur on any of the small balance wires which run around the battery pack, the fuse simply shuts down the connection and keeps everything safe. Once the fault condition is removed, the function returns to normal. The balance leads on this pack are fused. But the question is going to be, what are they fused at? Because if they're fused at 2 to 5 amps and I'm charging at 300 milliamps, that's kind of stupid. But if they're fused at 300 to 400 milliamps and I raise it to 500, then that's stupid. So what I think what we're going to learn from this video is we're going to figure out where it's fused. Because I'm just going to hit the up button right here. Lewis, impatient. All right, so now 500 milliamps. And again, each time we up it, I just go a further distance from my desk. So now I'm social distancing from the desk. I'm about six feet away from the desk. Before I was 4 feet. I think they're fused at 3 amps each cell. Balance wires are not multi-amps, too thin. Okay, those balance wires are thin. I'll give you that. They're thin wires, but I have no reason to believe that at 4 volts it couldn't handle at least 0.7 amps. Black Moon says, I wager the polyfuse is going to open soon. Yeah, I upped the amperage, Subaru. I upped the amperage from 300 to 500. Should I have gone a little slower? Should I be getting further away from my desk? Subaru, what do you say? Further away from my desk? Further away from the desk? More social distancing? Okay, I'm 8 feet away from the desk. It's a good thing I have 2013 vision because I have scaling turned off on this 4K screen. There's no scaling, 4K, and I can still read the Discord. Doesn't matter. Okay, less social distancing. I'm 6 feet away from the desk now. Get closer to the pack. I don't want to get closer to the pack. I'm afraid. I'm afraid. I'm scared. Hold me. Give the pack a wet kiss. The safe distance is your old store. Yeah, 0.25 ohm is way too high, huh? What are you measuring there? Also, there's a fucking fly in my office. You're about to get it. I think 900 milliamps is safe if there are 9 cells per series. This group's resistance should be 10 million ohms, so you're measuring 250. Okay, I understand that it's fused, but what can I go up to here? Try 1 amp. That's kind of scary. Yeah, we're going to try we're going to go up a little bit at a time. So that's 600 milliamps. Fuck you, fly! 1 second. Die, Corona fly, die. We kill this fucking fly. He's chasing me around my office, buzzing by my ear. Go to 666 milliamps. No, fuck that geocore. Removing all that sponge is going to be miserable, and you're probably going to remove a lot of the liquid resistance. All right, I'm going to put it up to 766 milliamps and see what happens. Lots of rewinding to do, Kantek Gudski. All right. $850. Don't go on fire, battery. Do not go on fire. No fire. One amp polyfuse. Okay, it trips at 1.1 amps. To 1 amp to 1.1 amps. So how about 950 milliamps as my current? Also, can someone please ban Copaz from the e-bike Discord? Thank you. We're going to go to 900. $900 milliamps. I said it's a 4.19 volts instead of 4.2. Say that Tommy's sorry for accusing him of not reading his messages on chat. Huh? I'm confused. It's charging at 900 milliamps. Do we want to try for more? Do we go for more? Subaru? Oh, Sudoku, not Subaru. Thank you very much for all of your help. I appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, I should probably tin those wires too. Let's try 970 milliamps. So now we're going to watch a battery charge. Panagiotis, you haven't been paying attention this entire time, and that makes me incredibly, incredibly sad. Actually, very sad. So, we are charging the individual cell groups to the balance wire. We are not charging the entire battery. So now we're going to wait and watch it happen. You guys get to watch my battery charge. Exciting, right? Isn't that what you always dreamed of? Yeah, I don't want to tear open the whole thing. That's going to be a nightmare. There's a gigantic spider that's now chasing the fly in my office. How the fuck did my office turn into National Geographic? I'm really tempting that polyfuse here. I'm glad. I'm tempting that polyfuse to die. Are you a 1 amp polyfuse or a 2 amp polyfuse? Are you a 1 amp polyfuse or a... Chat will love it if you break out the thermal camera. I haven't figured out how to use... That's the problem. I haven't figured out how to use the thermal camera without it disconnecting the internet, which has been a royal pain in the ass. Every time I open that app, it winds up destroying my internet, and I haven't figured out why the app does that. It's very annoying. Capacity test on each group. I don't need to. I just need to... All I need to do is charge it up to the proper voltage, and I'm good. I'm a happy guy after that. Oh yeah, Black Moons, it's a network camera. Every time I open the program that works with it, it fucks up everything. I forgot to write Eli. Huh, strange. I don't think I have any dead cells, Andre. I haven't done anything that crazy. Okay, we're going to tempt fate here. Tempting fate. What you are doing is illegal. No, it's when I ride it at faster than 25 miles an hour that it's illegal. Get it straight. If you shut the current off for a second, you could see how charged it really is. Yeah, because then you're going to see the voltage that it sits at. So what rating do you think that polyfuse is for, is my question. To balance the load, Giaco. So if I was able to go 70 milliamps over the polyfuse over an amp, that means one of two things. Behind door number 1, the polyfuse is poorly rated. Behind door number 2, the polyfuse is for 2 amps, not 1 amp. So I think that this means that it's rated for 2 amps. Who's with me? Polyfuses, it trips at 1.1 amps for a 1 amp fuse. Also, 1.5 amp fuses exist. All right, Okay, so I'm not gonna. Let's see what happens at 1.0. We're gonna slowly go up to trip the polyfuse. All right, we're gonna slowly jump up. The wires are cold. Regular fuses take 2 hours to trip at 110% rated current, 5 seconds at 200%. If it's a okay, now here's my second question. When they say they individually fuse every cell, are we sure that these are polyfuses and not normal fuses? Because if it's a polyfuse, that means that if I don't go too crazy over the limit, it should trip and then an hour later or so it'll work. Whereas if it's a normal fuse, that means I have to actually open up this whole fucking battery and replace it. Because I've had many experiences where polyfuses die and come back to life, and they'll die and come back to life even way over their normal rated voltage and amperage. It's only once you go a stupid amount over what's rated that it's dead for good and doesn't come back. Hey, Paul, how's it going?
I heard something about 2 amps through a 1 amp fuse.
Oh. Well, here's the thing. We don't know what the polyfuses are rated for on the balance wires.
Yeah.
I'm not going to kill an 18650 with this. I'm charging 9 18650s at once with 1 amp. That is very conservative.
That's fine.
That's incredibly conservative. The thing is, I don't know what the balance. There's a fuse on those balance wires. It's a polyfuse, though, apparently, from what I hear. Polyfuse. It should, if it trips, it should come back.
Just in case.
Does that actually work? Is that full?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, I'm going to try 1.1 amps now. Let's see what 1.1 amps does. Huh? Oh! Okay, it's not dead yet. Also, I'm charging them a 4.19 instead of 4.2 just to be safe, in case this power supply is a piece of shit. I don't think it is, because the circuit specialist guy said it's one of his better ones, and he wanted me to review it. He wouldn't have sent me this to review if it was a piece of shit, but...
Oh, well, just test it with your multimeter. Your multimeter will give you a secondary opinion.
Actually, yeah, that's a smart idea. So, but then that means, do I trust the B&K?
You want my fluke?
I trust it. This is a $160 B&K. I trust it. Let's see what does this thing say.
Well, put it on my fluke too, and then you have 3 corroborating answers.
Okay, so 4.14
is.
Oh, change range here.
Oh. We need more range. Need more decimal points.
hit range?
4.15. 4.15.
Yeah, BNK agrees with that. All right. Is Anel failing at customer service again? Why does he have? Why does he?
She's very difficult.
It's difficult, yeah.
Watch some lipo explosion videos while waiting. No, thank you. We're gonna. All right. 1.1, 1.15. Additionalist, we're like at 1 amp. We're in the 1 amp range. We're not charging the entire battery. We're charging just individual cell packs, so we're not even close to that. What we're doing right now, that's not Wi-Fi, that's serial, Black Moons. Serial. No Wi-Fi. What I'm doing right now is I'm charging the individual cell groups. So there's 14 groups of 9 18650s. So the 14 groups are what get you in series to 58.8 volts, and then to be able to have more amperage and also capacity, you get 9 groups. You have 9 batteries in those 14 groups. Okay, so we went to 1.15 and it didn't blow up. Do we have 1.2? 1.2? 1.2. All right, 1.2. We have no explosion. We're just going to keep slow roasting that little poly fuse. Come on. Do we have 1.25? 1.25? Do we have 1.25? 1.25. 1.25. Do we have 1.3? 1.3? No, 5 amps. What the fuck's wrong with you, you fucking crazy bastard? No. 1.3? 1.3? 1.3. Oh, 1.3! Yes! Yes! Fucking destruction, baby. Okay, so we got, sorry for the lack of font or anything. So we got volts, amps, watts for all of your entertainment here. Look at this. Look at this. Okay. 4.1. I'm not trying to charge each whole series group at 14 amps individually. We're doing 1.2 amps here. 1.2 is very, very far from 14. That's your 1.3. Also, check it out. Look, check it out. See? I have it set to 1.3, but it's only using 1.2. So now that's the limit. So this is pretty much as fast as that group's going to be able to charge. I cannot get faster charging right now by raising that. But I could if I wanted to just do 4.195. Didn't you want to stop at 4.19? How about 4.195? How about 4.195? Nah, 4.19. It actually doesn't go that high. Yeah, I can't do decimal points that far. So we'll charge to 4.19 for now. All right, I gotta admit, I'll be honest with y'all, this is pretty boring. So I'm gonna, find something else to do with my business right now because my desk is kind of filled up with this shit. It was fun. I want to say thank you to everybody in the e-bike Discord. If any of you want to make an invite and link it in my YouTube stream, you're welcome to. I don't know how to make an invite here because I'm a noob since I'm not quite. Actually, here we go. If I right-click fix it, mute. Yeah, all I have is mute and notification settings. I don't have a link. I can't make a link for invite. But I would be more than happy to invite some people here. Thank you to NCC 1941. Thank you to Black Moons. Thank you to Grunbaum. Thank you to Zero Subaru. And all the other people who were very helpful there and teaching me all this stuff and helping me learn a little bit about how this works so I can be less of an ignorant buffoon. But yeah, this is it. I can't raise the current anymore here. This is just, it's charging the battery. It's charging that individual cell pack as fast as it can. That's all there is to it. This is charging it as fast as it's able to charge it. You really shouldn't be trying to charge the battery anymore at that amp. Like, is 1.2 amps really that awful for a group of 9 18650s? You have to keep in mind that's 9 18650s in parallel. So that means that each one of those is getting about 100 milliamps. It's not already charged. Are you kidding? If it was already charged, it wouldn't be taking 1.2 amps. There is no way if this was already charged, it would be taking 1.2 amps. Here. Watch. I'll show you. We'll measure this, okay? So I will measure the banana probes coming from it. Ready? Ready? Ah, shit, the multimeter's off. Shit, why the hell are you giving me a... What the fuck? Why are you measuring 0.1? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. SpaghettiOs. Okay, that's interesting. So what was it that I was charging this whole time, actually? So now I measure 0.082. Yeah, what the fuck did you do, dumbass? Wait, what the hell? Okay, it's 3.8 volts. The wire fell out. Okay, 3.8. So we still got a while to go because this shit's at 3.8. And we're going to make this wire a little bit easier to work with as well. That was a bad idea. Now they don't really fit. Yeah, never mind. Bad idea. No, JP. No senseless destruction. Charging voltage is always going to be higher than the cell voltage so long as you're not so long as the cells are not absorbing more power than the power supply can put out. Fuck you, you little strand. Get out of there. My friends, see you later. I have located 3 other Ben's power supplies in someone else's desk. I'm going to take my power supply and put it on the other desk, so then I can charge many more cell groups at the same time. Because the way this is going, it looks like this would take forever. So I will see you all in the next video. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, I hope you learned something. I will show you the progress